Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take another look at Bitcoin, see what's going on here, of course, for our daily analysis. And with Bitcoin, simply put, we don't need to worry, just kind of throw it out there. We're still honoring the trend line. The trend is your friend, and we're in pretty good shape. Okay, all things considered. A lot of, I wouldn't say manipulation, but there's specific price points that keep getting rejected. And I believe it looks very much like just a bot. As soon as it's hit a certain point, there's an instant sell that happens and it just comes right back down. So we're hitting a lot of that reset stuff going on, which we saw previously as well. It's not abnormal for Bitcoin to have this type of channel trading going on. So just know we're kind of a normal situation here. And the key takeaway is that the price is slowly ascending higher. We're honoring the trend line and we're looking good. Okay. That being said, I'm not a financial advisor. I really just hope you can learn something here today. If you can, comment below. Let me know if you did learn something. If not, that's okay too. If you'd like to become a better trader, consider joining CryptoCache.tech as a site. Link in the description below, where you can learn and grow as a trader here with my community, my trading academy, and of course, the signals that I send to help you structure the trades most effectively. I've been trading about 80-85% success rate overall, so it's been a really positive experience. So check that out in your own time. Once again, CryptoCache.tech. So taking a look here at RSI, kind of start with the obvious. We're just kind of hanging out right in the middle, right? Not much going on, right at about 60, just kind of trending sideways. So good news is we're above 50 in the RSI. That tells us we're more so bullish than we are bearish. And the overall general sense of things is good, okay? There's also the MACD divergence, which I have no qualms over. Honestly, this doesn't mean anything to me personally. Yes, it could imply a turnaround, but I don't think that we are necessarily changing the overall direction based on that. Because now that we're above 46,000, the key level support, I think we're going to probably still continue to maintain this price point. It definitely looks like it wants to hold at 46. There's just a lot of up and down action in this price range there, building that volume, which is actually very, very beneficial. So even though, yes, the MACD is signaling a potential reversal, that doesn't mean it has to happen every time. So try to understand that it's not a guarantee. It just is something telling you that the momentum is shifting, potentially. Therefore, we might potentially see a shift in momentum to the downside, but we have a lot of key level supports here in the meantime. Okay, so again, 44,500 to 46,000 is a nice, strong support range. That's why I have this, excuse me, this green bar across the screen is to kind of signify that support channel that we have. As soon as the price travels into that area, even though there's less volume there, it will start to accumulate volume and build that foundation of support, right? And obviously, we could see 44,500 was a point that could not be passed on the daily for quite some time. So now that we're above that, we can assume that that's going to continue to maintain as a support, which is tested already one time and held very strong, all right? So good stuff there in that sense. I really see nothing adverse. Looking very nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour and just kind of specify a couple things here. One thing that's pretty obvious is the 50-day SMA is it's working as a resistance essentially. It keeps getting rejected the price when it comes up and comes right back down. So that is a point of contention for the moment. But once again, the more often you test something, the more likely it is to break, because it should just naturally start to edge its way down. And in that sense, we should essentially be able to see the price continue to test it and push through. So we'll probably see a second attempt to break through that again here soon. I personally feel, based on just this overall little channel that we're in right now, the likelihood of a break to the upside is much higher than the downside, just based on the fact that we are ascending in this type of pattern. And overall, the trend lines have proven to be very beneficial in the recent past. We got to give them a chance to be able to continue to do that. Okay. So we're looking good there. RSI, I wouldn't be too concerned with the price kind of wavering above and below 50 at this point. It's not a definitive support and resistance level, obviously, because that should be 46,000. But technically speaking, 46,000 doesn't really mean too much right now, at least on the shorter time frames. So we don't really need to truly worry about that. And of course, the MACD is kind of just all over the place there, or just going straight sideways. Not a lot to extract there as well. So in other words, on the midterm, there's not a lot of momentum in either direction. This is channel trading. This is standard. You buy low, sell high. That's essentially what the bots are doing right now, taking their profits as soon as the price point hits a specific price. Now, what that appears to be is 47,200 is an exact level in which the price reverses as soon as it hits. We'll see that on the shorter time frames, but generally speaking, 47,200 is a key level resistance for the moment. we can get a close above 47,200, we'll be in much better shape. But keep in mind, we are, on the larger time frame, still making higher highs and higher lows, or more so higher highs. Sorry, more so higher lows, which are the most important ones. Higher highs, of course, hasn't happened yet because we had this massive, top, so to speak, that we haven't reached yet. But generally speaking, we're still in good shape in the larger time frames, and that to me is more important. And this transitionary time frame of the 4 hour isn't really telling us that we are going to go down or up. But truth is, we are still ascending in this type of pattern, and that should essentially break to the upside. Those are things that I like to kind of think about and look at, and in general, that should essentially swing things in our favor, because you can see it just keeps on testing it and keeps making higher lows. And higher lows to me are the most important thing on any type of trend. I'd much rather make higher lows than higher highs any day, because the simple fact that you eventually keep testing a resistance level, those higher lows will eventually become higher highs. Just a kind of an inevitability, okay? Excuse me. All right, so taking a look here, of course, at the 1 hour, let's go ahead and summarize and call it a day. Ichimoku cloud, going to be messy. We don't need to worry about this. It doesn't really tell us too much. Based on the way that the cloud should work, hypothetically, when the price comes up here and breaks through the cloud, we get that, that natural buy signal. Then at that point, it might be a good consideration to take entry. But for now, really, it's almost best you just kind of dollar cost average or stay the heck out, because this is just a big mess, and unfortunately, there's not much to really do here. Obviously, if you're a day trader, perhaps a different story. But even still, you got to be careful with your stop losses, because there's just, it's no coincidence the price comes up to a certain point and just nosedives immediately. It's absolutely some kind of trading bots that are specifically set at exact price points, and they're selling massive amounts of Bitcoin as soon as we hit that point. So just know that this isn't just some mischievous gentleman in a dark suit planning this out every single time. No, it's just fully automated. That's why as soon as it hits that point, it turns right around. But the more often you test that, the more likely it is to break, because they're going to start losing strength eventually. They're going to run out, and it's going to turn around. That's what we're seeing here, this nice ascending type of pattern that's consistently making higher lows and effectively testing those levels multiple times. So we've had to test 3 times. I'm ventured to guess the 4th or 5th attempt will break through that. Okay? I think we're getting close. Again, we're starting to whittle it down, so looking good in that sense. TD sequential isn't going to tell us too much here, honestly. So really, when you got these kind of movements, this kind of price action, the best thing you can do is look at larger time frames and just try to identify what the overall trend is, right? The trend is your friend, at least, if you can identify what the trend is. In this case, we're still seeing essentially higher lows, and more importantly, we're seeing this continuation of this pattern here, where we still have yet to break this. So, the next couple of days, we could see it come below, and that's okay. We'll reevaluate and figure it out. But for now, we got to kind of honor the fact that the trend is still maintaining itself, and the likelihood of a break to the upside is much higher than the downside, based on the fact that we're accumulating volume at a higher price point and keep testing a key level resistance. Right now, at this point, 47,200 is that resistance level. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of roughly what we're looking at here for Bitcoin. So again, all good stuff there. I say, just generally speaking, we're in good shape. I wouldn't excuse me. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's really honestly one of those things that's just kind of, it's par for the course considering the circumstances. It's that normal kind of behavior right now. I know it's frustrating when your altcoin's about to hit its profit target and just gets wrecked just because one bot decides to want to dump all their Bitcoin, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. That's just kind of the nature of things. Truth is, we're progressing upwards, making higher lows. We're still honoring this trend line, and that's what we got to kind of acknowledge at this point. Those are the important things. All right, well, I hope you found benefit, of course. I know this isn't the most exciting circumstance for Bitcoin, but it is what it is, and these are things that you just kind of deal with in the industry. So just, the sooner you get thicker skin, the better. And I can assure you this is not like a big deal at all. All right, this is kind of normal stuff. So I hope you found benefit once more. Thanks again for joining me. CryptoCache.tech is a site if you want to become a better trader. Look forward to helping you out. Have a great rest of your day.